now.
You replaced somewhat of a controversial figure in your predecessor, Dr. Edmonds. What do you plan to bring to the table, and what changes do you plan to make?
At this point, I really can't tell you exactly what changes I plan to make because I'm still learning and assessing what's going on in the district, but my goal will be to make whatever changes need to be made for the benefit of children, because our goal is to make this the best education system possible. And so we will look at whatever needs to be done for the benefit of children. But I can't detail that at this point. I've been at work 4 days. So it's mostly been listening and assessing. But at some point I'm sure that will come to light. I plan to work as hard as I can to make this a great school system, or at least better than it is. And I think that's what we all want, is to constantly be better. I'm a big believer in continuous improvement. Where I worked before, we never thought we were good enough. We were always trying to get better, and that's how I think you do get better. In education, you never really arrive at the best. You just constantly strive to be the best. I think what I bring to the job is many years of experience being a school superintendent, especially in the state of Tennessee. I have a strong, deep knowledge of the way things work in Tennessee. I understand what needs to be done as a superintendent of schools. When I first was superintendent, I worked in a district that was not too much larger than Franklin County, so I think I have a good understanding of the importance of education to everyone in the county, and the way county government works, and the ways a community works, and would like to see a school system be successful.
And have you had a chance to look at the financial aspects of the school system, and what kind of position do you think the system is in currently?
I have looked at the financial aspects to a pretty deep degree, and the fact that we are continually losing children out of the school system makes it difficult for our state education funds. However, we are funded on last year's children, so that gives us a year break each year, but we certainly want to look at how we might not continue to lose children from the school system, because that does give us more funding. The local funding, I think, is like everywhere, probably in the United States right now. Everyone is concerned about the economic downturn, so everyone's trying to hold on to their dollars and not increase the tax burden on any of the citizens. But right now, that's where we are. We're looking at places, all places where we spend money, to see if we can be more efficient with those funds. Not to say we haven't been efficient and effective before, but as everyone's tightening their belts at home and around the county, we're looking at how we can tighten our belts in the school system as well.
Okay. And you said that we were losing students. What do you think the reason behind that is?
I don't know, and I'm looking, trying to determine why we're losing students. I mean, communities do tend to go through an ebb and flow of growth or non-growth, and it just may be that we're in a normal ebb and flow, or it may be that we can actually attract students back that we might be losing, or attract students from other places that we might not be receiving right now. I'm a strong believer that if you have the best educational system in the area, that's where people want to go.
Right.
And that would be my goal, to make this the most attractive school district in the area.
Okay. You spoke in your first interview with the school board about how you helped shape the Williamson County school system into one of the best in the state. You also said this helped in recruiting industry and other forms of labor into the area. Do you think you can do that here, and how?
I think I can. I'm not exactly sure how at this point. I think we start with looking at what happens at schools, and at curriculum, and at needed resources at the school level, to see what it is that would make our schools more attractive. And I'm not saying that our schools aren't doing a great job. I'm sure they are. But I think I do come from a vantage point and a viewpoint from somewhere different than Franklin County. And sometimes when you come in from the outside, you can see things that maybe you don't see from the inside, or see when you've been doing things maybe the same way for a long time. So I think, one of the places I will start is with curriculum, with looking at what's going on in the classrooms and visiting with principals. Sometimes principals have great ideas, but they just haven't been able to get the support to implement them, and that could very well be the case. So I tiered approach, but I think certainly starting at the school level, because that's the place where parents are attracted, and that's the place where you really build your reputation.